What's up, everybody? Huge Brothers Fishing here. Um, we are nearing the end of another winter, which means it is about to be the start of our next fishing season. In about 9 days, we get our first spring Sunday, which means you know what that means, it's fishing time. Um, so for this year, we should hopefully do a lot more fishing videos than we did last year. We did just start the channel back in the late fall, so that's why it was like not too many videos. I think there's only one right now from probably I think the winter actually, but we're not going to be making a lot of winter videos because it is really hard to catch fish in the winter, around here at least. So that's why we haven't uploaded on that. But now the spring is starting back up on in about 9 days from the day this is posted, we will be recording the first video of the series. Right now, our game plan is to leave at 2 p.m. on that Sunday. Not this Sunday, that the one after, because the Sunday that's coming up is the last winter spring. But we're gonna be tracking the weather. It is supposed to be windy on the first day of or first Sunday of the season. So that means we are going to be dealing with a little bit of windy conditions. It might be a little bit challenging, but hopefully we'll catch something on that day. The temperatures are supposed to be a 50-degree day, making it code cyan stands for cold. It's gonna be a cold fishing day as well. It's not too cold though, because we've dealt with much worse. Um, like the last video that we made, that was during one of those very cold days when it was like when the temperature was freezing outside. Feels like scale was actually in the freaking almost in the negatives that video, and there was snow everywhere. Um, yeah, so hopefully this year we'll catch a lot more fish, especially towards the summer, because that's the best time to go fishing during the year, because it's going to be warm out, all the fish are going to be around. Hopefully we're not going to deal with 99-degree days, but you know, anything will happen. Anything can happen where I'm from, and so um again, the winter is coming to an end. My brother and I are going to be fishing once again. Hopefully we can get fishing on the first Sunday of the spring. I got to get the equipment that I need to make these types of videos, because right now only my brother has a chest vest for recording videos. I need to get one too, so that I don't have to keep using his and we both can film whenever we want. Um so yeah, I just want to take some more information on what the weather's going to be like on that Sunday. Now, everything is subject to change because the weather is not going to remain the same the entire time. So let me just give you a breakdown of what the weather is going to actually be like. All right, so here's a breakdown of the weather. I know it's in portrait and it's hard to see, but there's not much I can do because Apple does not support landscape mode for the weather app, because why would they? So yeah, again, it is going to be 50 degrees by like around 3 o'clock. That's why it is suggested that we would leave at 2, so that we will be able to um, go outside in the warmest part of the day. Even though there is going to be a bit of wind, as you can see here, it might be a little challenging. I did say this was going to be a challenging Sunday, so that's exactly what we're going to get. So, yeah, I guess we start the fishing season off with a challenge, I guess. Um, Now, here is the feels like scale. This is what it feels like outside. It's actually supposed to feel like it's 41, which technically falls under the code blue zone, which technically means it's very cold. So we're going to not only need our recording equipment that we have to wear, we're probably going to need to get some thermal protection as well. Not as much as we had to during our first fishing video, but it's still something. Yeah, that it was frigid out there last time we made the video on this channel. But it's 41 degrees. It is going to be very cold, but not too bad. It's not going to be freezing. So and of course the high for the feels like scale is actually before 12 p.m., which I'm not even going to be leaving my home apartment to get to my brother's house until like 12. So yeah, that is not happening anyways. I mean, again, I did say we were going to go when it was 50 degrees out, so I think it makes more sense. So I guess we just leave at 2. And then finish up recording by like 4, and if we want to do whatever we want after, we can. It is now extended time as well, so we could, if we wanted to, we could extend that to 5 o'clock. When we stop what we're doing, we could go from like 2 to 5. Since it's now extended time. Only a little bit of this channel's history is going to have videos in standard time, and that's only going to take place towards like the late fall stages. So you won't have to worry about us deducting an hour until like early November. Because again, extended time is better in my opinion, but we have to have both. So yeah, that's the plan. Now for the UV index, it is technically recommended to wear sunscreen, but I never do. And yeah, I just never do unless if I'm at the beach. That's literally it. Yeah, sun protection is recommended from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. that day. So, again, sunscreen is recommended, but most people don't use it because unless if we're going to the beach. Because that's when you're the most vulnerable to the sun's harmful rays. I mean, it should be easy to not get sunburnt if we're covered up in layers. Because the way the sun burns your skin is when the sunlight actually hits your skin. And when we're going to be bundled up in a 50-degree day, not like super bundled up, but we're going to be covered in equipment. So there's no way we're going to get sunburnt that's why it's more common for people to get sunburnt during the summer and the spring, or I guess late spring stages and early fall stages. Because that's when we're wearing less things to keep us warm, because we want to stay cool during that period of the year. So again, this really does not matter to us. It really doesn't. And it probably doesn't even in the summer because, again, we don't wear sunscreen a lot, even though we should, technically, but I don't need to. So, yeah. Now, for the wind, this is when it gets challenging. If you look here, you can see that the wind speed is around, I want to say, 18 miles per hour whenever we're going to be out there. Now that is the biggest challenge of that is one of the biggest challenges because during the spring the wind speeds are usually a little bit higher than um the rest of the year. Um I'm trying to look up the Bedford scale real quick. It's my favorite thing to look up whenever wind speeds are around. That falls under level 5 wind. And last time we went fishing in level 4 wind, we failed miserably. So this is going to be a very difficult challenge for the both of us. I think the goal is just that for that day is just that at least one of us catch something. At least one of us should at least catch something. Like I don't know how difficult. I don't know where the best place to go actually is to get something. Like it has to be just one thing. Like it doesn't matter who catches it, as long as somebody catches something on our first week, we should be good. If we can. It's gonna be challenging because again, the wind speeds are level 5, which stands for a strong breeze. Um, it's really a it's really a nightmare if you think about it. Okay, so some Bedford scales say the wind speed's level 4, others say it's level 5. Again, this is subject to change, so we'll have an update when we get closer to the day we go fishing for the first time of the year. Yeah. And then I think our last little thing here, this is the visibility. This will tell us how easy it is for us to see. It's going to be perfectly clear, so it's not going to be hard to see anything. Unlike the Nova Scotia fires that made, not only did it ruin the visibility, but the air quality was really bad too. Speaking of which, I should probably take a look at the air quality because I actually forgot to actually take a screenshot of that. All right, so this is the air quality right now as of the time I'm recording this. Sadly, we cannot predict. I guess no one can predict the what the air quality is going to be in 9 days because that's impossible because there's so many factors that could happen, like a fire happens somewhere. But yeah, the air quality is at 29. AKA what that means is 29 parts per million. And that means that the air quality is code green. And now if you live in the United States, you should be familiar with this system if you pay attention to the weather, but I don't think a lot of you will be, even if you are from the United States. But here in the United States, we have 6 different levels of air quality, each ranging from each one is worse than the last. Now from 0 to 50, that is the good range, the green range. That means it's perfectly fine for everybody. Now, the next one is 50 to 100. That is yellow. That is known as fair. It's still pretty good, but if you have like a severe illness, then you shouldn't be fishing or doing anything outside that day. With the scale of 100 to 150, that is the unhealthy for some people. People with asthma and conditions like that should be outside less. That is code orange. That's known as orange. Then there's red. This is unhealthy. This level is called unhealthy. When this is in effect, when the air quality is that bad from that high or higher, we will be canceling fishing videos, but thankfully it's extremely rare, and the only time that has ever happened in the last couple years was because, again, the Nova Scotia fire, where it was unhealthy to be outside, basically. Yeah, everywhere, and then a lot of places in the country had pretty bad gases. Thankfully, we weren't in New York City, where some of my other viewers are from. It was bad there. It was even worse. It was way worse there. Again, red stands for it is considered unhealthy. That ranges from 150 to 200 parts per million. Then there's purple, which is 200 to 300 parts per million, I believe. That stands for very unhealthy. When the air quality is this bad, we're just gonna avoid going outside unless if we need to travel to another venue, basically me going home back and forth. Because that is just like extreme. And then when it's 300 or higher, that is known as maroon. That means I'm not even going to be traveling at all, because that is called hazardous in our country, and you will basically probably get some kind of cancer if you go outside for too long, because yeah. So yeah, we're in code green right now. This is subject to change later throughout the week, but but most of the time when I'm living here, it's either green or yellow. It's never really anything higher than that, unless if there's a forest fire in the north like there was 2 years ago. I think that's when that happened. Yeah, that was a weird year. But yeah, that is going to be fine, just fine. Yep. And yeah, that's going to be basically that. It is going to be a very challenging day to go fishing on. I don't know why. Go away, sleep time. I'm trying to show my channel. It is going to be very challenging. I don't know why we have the worst luck in March. I swear, March is the worst month of the year, in my opinion. It is just the opposite of lucky. Everything unlucky happens in March, ever since 2020 with the COVID thing, closing everything down. So yeah, that is that. Again, hopefully I don't have to upload another video like this one to the channel in a while, where it says, "We made a mistake fishing today." And yeah, let me just pull up that video. Let me just pull it up. So yeah, this is what it looked like when we went fishing on that really, really cold day. It was 16 miles per hour wind that time. Now it's going to be 18, so it's going to be even harder to stay still. However, it is not going to be cold like this one is. The actual temperature was 31 degrees. It feels like scale was 11. I thought it was in the negatives. I'm thinking of a different day in January where we didn't go fishing on. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah, this day was insane. The water was all over the place because it was just moving because of the wind. We weren't out there for too long. As you can see, if we scroll through around, this video is not as long as we wanted it to be. Because of how cold it was. And most of the time I'm just fishing in the ground, trying to set up. And then here's me trying to set up the camera at an angle because I didn't have a vest. I will be getting one, so I don't have to do this anymore. Because again, that was the most annoying thing to do. So hopefully we don't have to have a vest on, or no, I mean not a vest. I want to have the vest on. Hopefully I don't have to put the freaking phone on the ground to try to fish again and risk kicking it in the water. Yeah, that's going to be fun if that happens. And yeah, this video was very cold to actually make, by the way. Because we were still cold even when we came back from inside. So, as you can see, this video is only 20 minutes long. For a good reason. You can look at what my brother's wearing. It's super. He's bundled up. I'm bundled up too because it is cold out there. And then I angle it there. Look at the snow. This is when we walk back. I'm trying to figure out yeah, this is me. I was wearing my my tie-dye beanie at the time. And this is actually the same jacket I'm wearing right now as I'm recording this, actually. Because it is only 62 degrees in my bedroom right now because it's still winter. And we have that one day of the winter that's going to be cold. And then the rest of them should warm up, so. Yeah, you're going to see a bunch of different temperature ranges throughout this year. Because this winter's already been weird enough. I just want to point out to you guys that our first 80-degree day of the year was literally March 11th. And then we had another one that was 84 degrees on March 12th. Actually, sorry. It was March 10th that was 80 degrees. And March 11th that was 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. Yeah, it was hot. But not enough to be sweating hot, but it was pretty warm out that day. You want to know what happens on the very next day? It starts snowing. It literally was snowing the very next day. And now, at the time of me recording this, it is currently 32 degrees Fahrenheit. We are literally talking about temperatures that have dropped almost more than 50 degrees. It's insane. That's why you can never expect anything to be normal in a fishing video. As the temperatures are all over the place. The wind is already all over the place. We got the windiest, probably one of the windiest Sundays we're going to have this season. So I don't know if we're going to succeed or not. Because again, 18-mile-per-hour winds are very fast. So yeah, again, 18-mile-per-hour winds. That's actually level 4, by the way. I was wrong. In the earlier stages of my video, I was looking at the wrong source. Yeah, if you're looking at wind speeds, go to NOAA and stuff like that are verified by government officials before actually grabbing another random source. I made that mistake already because some of the numbers are incorrect in some of them. So yeah, it is the level 4 wind day again, almost level 5. It could go up, could go down. I don't know. We've had days this year already that had constant level 6 winds and breezes and gusts up to level 9. So we've already had that. So it is very well possible it can happen again at any point in the year, but it's very rare because it's only happened once in the last 365 days, I think. But again, we are dealing with a moderate breeze again, like you see in this video. But this time it's going to be a high moderate breeze, like 1 mile below the limit of moving up to level 5. I don't know what's going to happen when we try to go fishing at that speed. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. We will have a update video on this weather again in about 3 days. So feel free to find that video coming up. So yeah.